Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nosa of Nosa Capital, coming to you on a rainy afternoon from the Southern Hemisphere. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of fear-mongering going on right now in the markets, particularly the news on the markets. We know that the equity market is falling, commodities are taking a beating, some of the futures are taking a beating, and of course, crypto takes a beating. Now, crypto doesn't do very well in times of uncertainty. The uncertainty in this case is the fact of the possibility of the Third World War, with the United States saber rattling and Iran not backing down, and of course the Americans bombing the Houthis. So all this has brought about a lot of uncertainty, and of course punditry have absolutely gone nuts out there. Obviously, all this type of talk and all this type of stuff is going to affect the markets generally, which it has. And as I said, crypto does not do well under uncertainty. But today, this is not about the total market. This is just about Bitcoin. Now, you've heard me in very recent past, about talking about this volume profile area here. Now, a friend of mine calls this the ice cream scoop. When you just sort of stick your spoon into the ice cream and pull it out, and gets all sorts of funny shapes. So that's what this friend of mine calls this area here, because you can see this depth, like somebody has dug something into the volume profile. So if I call it an ice cream scoop for the rest of this afternoon, you'll understand. So we're looking at these ice cream scoops here, which is where the volume profile has taken quite a bit of a dent. And I've said to you that as long as the price of Bitcoin remains within this area here, we're going to get this type of volatility that we see. Now remember, markets can only really move with volatility. Markets are going, if there's no volatility, you're not going to get any price action. It's just that simple. It's not rocket science. So one, as I've said, the uncertainty of war is there. We do not know what the geopolitical situation is going to say. Now, secondly, is this. And this here, ladies and gentlemen, is our liquidation heat map. And most of you would know that I always talk about this once in a while in the videos, and I always post something about liquidity almost every single day on my Twitter page. Check it out if you haven't checked it out, please. And you can see right now that this is liquidity is extremely sparse, which tells you that a lot of people are withdrawn from the market. Now, apart from this area down here at about 81, and some sparse areas here, there's not much liquidity for the market makers to get their hands on. So that's something to think about. Extremely sparse, which means it's extremely quiet, which also means that people have either sold their position to others or taken their position completely out of the market. That's I'm sure that on-chain analysis will be clearer about that. That's the second point. Now, the third point here is I've drawn this line here, and that's at about 76,000. Now, many analysts out there are positing that if it breaks 81, we could see 78. I say we would see around 76. And if it breaks that, I say we'd see around 70, which is down here, which is about 69,380. I also believe that this area here, this buying area here, and it's there's an overlap of two areas here, which has been, that's 69,000 something there and about 65,000. I strongly feel that price will hold at this area. If we go by some extra technical analysis, let's bring in the double top. You've seen this pattern on my chart several times. The double top here, there's a double top here and one here. The one here, the large one, is the one you've seen. And this is looking at about 68,000. And this double top here is looking at about 73,000 right there. So I don't really think Bitcoin is going to fall to this kind of 65, 60. I don't think so. I think it will hold at about 70,000. I think if it breaks the 73,000 here, and it's possible because if you look at the scoops here, you will see that this area here, there's a bit of activity, volume activity here. If it breaks this, it's coming all the way down to this area here. No question. Now, this area may hold, which is near that. This is about 72,000, which is the 73,000 posited here. So you could get that. Now, Worst case scenario, even if it falls down to the 65 or so, this area is between 65 and 69. I believe will hold, and buyers will return. But I think that's going to be for a very short period. I don't think it's going to be for a long period. So I don't think there's not much to worry about. I think, as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, if it comes to this area here, these are buying opportunities. Now, recently I haven't bought any Bitcoin. I've concentrated on Solana. But if Bitcoin were to fall to these buying areas here, I'm definitely buying. No question about that. As always, as I've told you, invest in quality and keep some powder dry for opportunities like this. Anyway, that's me. So keep your eyes and ears open and your trading sharp. Have a good one. Bye.